See the title of this video? Yeah. Took me a month and a half to marinate on this, so I obviously take my movies very seriously. Well, okay, listen, that's just not true. Like, on the one hand, yeah, I take my movies seriously in that I love to have in-depth conversations about them. I like to go see certain movies a bunch of times in theaters, and I love to discuss possibilities with other people. Like, I see the fun in movies, and I like to engage in ongoing conversations about movies. The same with books, the same with TV shows. But on the other hand, I'm not a movie snob. I will watch pretty much anything within the brackets of my interests. The most snobbish thing I will admit to doing is checking Rotten Tomatoes before I see a movie to make sure it's like a 40% or above. If that. Even then, if I'm really itching to see it, I don't care. I'm going to go see it. 2%, 10%, 30%, doesn't matter. That's usually just when I'm like on the fence. I love movies. Jordan and I love movies. It is one of our favorite things to do. Night off? Movie. Date night? Movie. Need some ambient noise while we do homework? Movie. Want to tuck into bed but not quite ready to fall asleep for the night? Movie. Now, I'm no Oscar judge, and neither are you, so don't be a snob, okay? Because this list is my personal favorites of 2015, not the absolute best movies of 2015, which is different and subjective, and not really what I'm talking about. I'm also not an idiot. I love plot and character and lighting and color theory and sound design and costuming, but I'm not above a movie that's pure entertainment, and I don't think anyone should be. That being said, 2015 was a fantastic movie year. Some of my favorite movies of all time, or of their respective sagas, came from 2015. I respect you, 2015, number 10. I'm starting to lose interest in Marvel movies. There, I said it. When Iron Man first came out, I was like, wow, 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 wow. And then the Avengers came out, and I was like, yay, wow, yay, wow. Winter Soldier, wow. Guardians of the Galaxy, wow. All the other stuff, I will see Marvel films on principle. See, I can count on the fact that when I go to a Marvel movie, I will get my money's worth. I will be thoroughly entertained. I'm just no longer super invested in the overall plot lines and melodramatic relationships.
Copper, you're my best friend. You're mine too, Todd.
And so, Ant-Man. Ant-Man, to me, is a promising new expansion that was funny, sincere, interesting, ridiculous, and just great. I was not just mildly entertained, nor thoroughly entertained. I was extremely entertained, and I want more. The only movie I want more right now than Ant-Man 2 is Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. But that's not really fair, because Guardians of the Galaxy is one of my top 10 favorite movies ever. Number 9. I couldn't decide between Jurassic World and Man from U.N.C.L.E. On the one hand, dinosaurs. On the other hand, fantastic cinematography and hilarious acting. On the one hand, Chris Pratt. On the other hand, fun plot and great film score. But Chris Pratt. Is it shallow to love a movie because of your crush? I love Chris Pratt. I don't care. He's literally my only celebrity crush. He is the only dude I'm allowed to kiss other than Jordan. Jordan and I have had a discussion about it. We've come to an agreement. I can kiss Chris Pratt so long as he can kiss Emma Watson, should they ever meet by chance. Is it cheating that I chose 2 movies for number 9? This is my channel, yo. I do what I want. I do what I want. Number 8. Hey, so don't kill me for saying that Mockingjay Part 2 is not number 1, or even in the top 3, or the top 5. There's nothing inherently wrong with the most depressing movie in the world, but I'm not exactly keen to pop it in on a Friday night just for funsies. It was a fantastic movie. Amazing adaptation. The actors really brought it home. Well, the ones who made it home. But still, Mockingjay was definitely one of my favorite 2015 films. Number 7. Question. Who loves the Mission Impossible series? Answer. I. Mission Impossible is one of my favorite go-to action movie series of all time. Very, very close to number 1. I mean, definitely my favorite, like, spy series. I love Mission Impossible. I love that it's a super spy flick that doesn't take itself too seriously, but then doesn't dumb itself down. The crazy masks, the gadgets, the inevitable car chases, all the impossible missions. I'm a huge fan. And this is one of my favorites in the series. A non-sexualized female counterpart who is awesome? Sold. Hawkeye without any arrows? Sold. Simon Pegg? Sold. And And the best part was the exact same plot as Spectre, except good, and it actually made sense. Number 5. I'll be clear, I've really only seen 2 of the Rocky movies. Maybe 3? I remember the first one vividly, mostly because I've seen it in the past 6 months. After that, basically all I remember is some Russians and a robot, so I'm not gonna pretend I'm a super dedicated fan, but Creed was just fantastic. It was heartfelt and powerful and inspiring and sweet and sad and amazing. You don't really have to know Rocky in order to appreciate Creed. And you didn't have to really know Michael B. Jordan in order to appreciate his face, I mean acting. I teared up both times I saw this movie. Why? I don't know. Because America. Because boxing. Because Sylvester Stallone is phenomenal at looking sad and lonely. I highly, highly recommend this movie. Seriously, go watch this movie. Number 6. The Martian is just something special. It's an incredible movie and an incredible book and an incredible story. Without coming off as annoyingly preachy, I found myself not just cheering for Mark Watney, but for the entirety of humanity. I came out of this movie wanting to donate everything I had to NASA. It seriously put the innovation and wonder of man into perspective, and it made me appreciate it. And I loved it. And it made me hungry for potatoes. And it may have made me cry. Number 4. Speaking of crying, I'll be honest, when I first heard about Inside Out, or like the concept of it a couple of years ago, I was dubious to say the least. It's not that I don't trust Pixar generally. They consistently put out ambitious stories with great plot, but on the other hand, they made vehicles with faces, and vehicles with faces too. So, I mean, the work of Pete Docter and Ronnie Del Carmen, who worked on stuff like Toy Story, Up, WALL-E, is nothing to shake a stick at, but still, emotions living inside someone's head? The heck does that even mean? But then it was beautiful, and I was crying, and we were crying, and the whole audience was crying. Who's your friend that likes to play Bing Bong? And the voice acting, the art, the importance of the message, the plot was so ingenious and ambitious and cool, it just can't not be in my top 5 of 2015. Number 3. Mad Max was another confusing experience for me. I saw the trailer and was like, what is this? Desert Car Fun Time? What is happening? Tom Hardy? Another series I have never seen, never had too much interest in, but by golly, I loved this movie. Between its breathtaking scenery, a fantastic combination of practical effects and CGI, and it being the pinnacle of a plot-driven story. Like seriously, think about how much dialogue is actually in this movie. There ain't much. We get something that is both meaningful and fun as heck. And, surprise Nicholas Hoult eating spray paint. What more could you ask for? Number 2. I don't care about your judgment. I don't care even a little bit. Because no matter what you say, this movie deserves to be my number 2 of 2015. It deserves to be one of my favorite movies of all time. It deserves all the love and happiness and rainbows and butterflies in the world. Because it is just the most whimsical and wonderful and surprisingly touching and beautiful little butterfly of a movie that managed to cuddle its way into my top 10 favorite movies ever. I love Cinderella. I love this movie. I loved the costume, the music, the Lily James, the Kate Blanchett as a fabulous scary cat, Game of Thrones guy and his pretty eyes. I loved every bit of this movie. This is the movie I watch when I want something on. It makes me laugh. It makes me cry. It makes me swoon like an 11-year-old. I can't remember the last time I felt this way, but honestly, when she comes into the ball in that gorgeous blue gown and dances with Prince Stark, I swoon. I swoon hard. I think, I want that dress. What would I even do with it? Who cares? I want it. And I also want to go to a ball. Cassie, you can't dance. Who cares? I want to go to a ball in that pretty blue dress that I have no use for other than to go to a ball. After the debacle that was Maleficent, which I hated so much. I didn't expect Cinderella to win me over. I didn't expect it really to be that great at all, let alone take over my life. But, here we are. Number 1. Just kidding, Spectre was garbage. This movie! I have so much love for this movie. I love Rey, I love Finn, I love Poe, I love BB-8, and his fantastic little thumbs up. I love Kylo Ren. I love it all. It breathes life into my very being. I don't care about the little nits and picks that people came up with, that even I came up with. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I love it all. From the brand new score by John Williams that just took my breath away, the actors, the action, the Oscar Isaac's face, the feeling of camaraderie between you and everyone else in the world when you watch this movie is so real and inspiring. It's less of a God bless America feeling and more like God bless the world and the galaxies far, far away. I love this movie for the same reason I love all the Star Wars movies. Because they are creative and thought-provoking and the perfect mix of whimsy and darkness. I love Star Wars, I love where it's going, and I love where it's gonna go. I hope. You could call it a new hope. Yeah. It's my top 10 of 2015, and I want to talk about it with you. So comment below, let me know what your top 10 is, and let's get a discussion going, eh? Hey, how does that sound, huh?